All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Business Life Podcast. I'm your co-host Michael, and also we got Diego. Um, Hoping you guys like the new little white logo. The what was it, the opposite one or the I don't know what's the I guess the
Inverted.
inverted. There you go, inverted colors. It was Diego's idea, and I gotta say, I'm loving it, man. Good idea, man.
It
Is it?
emphasizes more, man. It looks
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I gotta say I like it. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, what's going on, man? How you doing? How's your week? How are things? How's the family?
Good, man. Good. Family's good. Good week so far. Excited about next week. What about you?
Um, yeah, man, I had a very productive week. Um, just trying to, stick to the goal, stick to the mission, and really trying to get this business entrepreneurship up and going. You know, but today, we wanted to talk about the I guess the soon incoming playoffs, NBA 2020. Is it 2022/23 NBA playoffs? That's the correct way to say it, right?
Um, Technically, the only playoffs that happen in 20 would be only playoffs would be 2023. But yeah, sometimes they say because the season was split, right? 22, 23. Because when they say world champions, they say 2023 world champions. Like when the Raptors won, it was the
The
2019
team
champions,
champions.
not right. So I mean, eh,
Uh,
tomato, tomato, everyone. If you say it either way, it just makes sense. As long as you don't say 2022 champions, you're good.
right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you want to do the standings? You want me to?
No, go right ahead. Go on.
Yeah. So what do you want to start? East or West? I'm thinking East is a little bit more kind of straightforward. We'll
Okay.
do that quick. Okay. So top three teams in the East. If you could guess them or not, it's Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers.
Yeah. I have it in front
Uh,
of me, by the way.
Sorry.
I have the standings in front of me, so go right ahead.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So, do you think anyone other than the top three teams that I just announced, do you see anyone else making a splash in the playoffs?
How I haven't been really taking a look at the Heat, um, but do you think they can pull off an upset? Because they may be able to. Well, okay, you don't believe so,
I
no, no.
Listen, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you've watched any Heat games recently, but they just don't look the same.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they got Jimmy Butler and Bam, but and Tyler Hero's playing pretty solid, but Tyler Hero's starting uh, point guard. He's playing a lot of point guard now.
Oh, okay.
A lot off the bench the last couple of games. It's very underwhelming. They essentially they got rid of or they lost PJ Tucker in free agency, and I think they lost one more player. No, they didn't lose one more player. Struess, who had a career year last year, is having a super down year offensively this year, and you could just tell the team does not seem the same as they. It's not the same team that made it to the East Final. That was a possession away from making it to the finals. I'm sure they'll give fits to other teams, but I don't see them beating the top three teams in the um,
First round.
in the Eastern Conference. Well, yeah, well, like they're gonna like right now they're in the play-in, so like I'm assuming whether it's the Hawks or the Raptors that make the 8th seed, they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't see them losing two in a row. Like they do have star power, right? Um, but yeah, I really don't have faith in them. Like obviously the Knicks are having a great year, but they're the Knicks. We're not really sure
I
what they
think
actually.
I think the most, well, at least what I'm projecting to be the most exciting first round matchup in the Eastern, like the first round in the Eastern Conference is the Knicks and the Cavaliers. That might go
I
seven
was
games.
I completely agree, man. That's gonna be a sick match.
It's gonna be a
I see
fun.
the Cavs edging because I think the Cavs are they they have one. I think they have the best player in the series. I really think Donovan Mitchell is
Donovan Mitchell,
better,
yeah.
better than Brunson, but they have a bunch of guys below, and they're so big. Like they play legit two bigs at all times, and they have two guards that are smaller. So like I don't know, they're just. I really like watching the Cavs. They're really entertaining this year.
And I can see, and if the Cavs face the Bucks, I can see them giving them a run for the money. At least like possibly a 6 game series. I do believe Bucks will ultimately win, but if Donovan Mitchell,
Agreed.
if he catches like some type of sweet spot, hot spot, they can upset the Bucks. Highly
Well,
unlikely,
here's the
but hmm?
here's the problem with that, right?
Right. Go on.
That like Mitchell is an unstoppable force offensively, right? Like, he had a 70-point game this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think with the Bucks specifically, you have three. Their top three players are great defensively.
Right. Yeah.
Middleton, really good defender. Obviously, we know Giannis is.
Giannis,
Holiday's a
Drew
terrific guard
Holiday.
defender.
Yep.
Like I think they're gonna make him. They're gonna make him shoot more to get as many points. So I think just with that, he won't be as efficient, and that'll kind of obviously that'll probably be the downfall for the Cavs because obviously Mitchell's going to need to score quite a bit for them to be successful. So like whether they put, I think Holiday's probably going to get Garland like point guard v point guard, and then it'll switch between Middleton or Giannis. I think that's and even Grayson Allen. Like Grayson Allen's having a solid year with the 3-point shot. He's obviously a solid defender. Like they have a lot of guys. Man, the Bucks are really deep. Man, the
I
Bucks are
got
super.
what we should do next week. Because I don't think next week the playoffs start, right? I don't think it starts next week. I
No,
think
I
like
think it's the week after,
right.
but
We
they have a
we
playing
should
tournament after next weekend.
right. We should do a playoff bracket. Like we do our own playoff bracket, and we do it next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is Easter next week, so we got to figure out a good time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
But yeah, I so we're not doing predictions. We're not saying what do you think is going to happen.
No, I'm
Do you
saying
see
no, no.
any?
All I'm saying is that you're gonna have your bracket next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Do you see anyone in the top three not making to the finals? Like, do you see Philly legitimately making the finals, or is it
Um,
just
Let me see.
the
Well,
Bucks?
the Nets. I don't. Well, the Nets.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, I
they're a
mean,
good story staying afloat after all the trades,
yeah.
and I mean that could kind of transition into the Western Conference conversation because they might get a lottery pick now with the Dallas trade.
Yeah. So like exactly that's true, right? So with the Nets, okay, Sixers beat the Nets, and then Sixers have to face the Celtics, and Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown have been, phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think and I think for them coming off last year's loss, they have that type of I don't know if to say momentum, but like there's a championship.
and that edge from losing, being
Yeah.
close, missed opportunity for sure.
So I get
Yeah, I still see Celtics and Bucks in the East
yeah.
Final. I like what Philly's been doing. I like the whole push with Joel Embiid in the MVP race. Um, Embiid doesn't really play well against Boston in the playoffs.
Right. He's always struggled
So
against them, always.
and Horford's a big part of that, even
Well,
though he's a guy
sorry.
now.
Sorry,
Yeah,
it does. I won't say. I'm not gonna say like he's personally struggled, but
he has.
his team. No, I'm just saying like because he does get his points, but it's not about his points, right? It's about how he's able to make the team function around him
Yeah,
to right. Because playoff time, this is the beauty about playoffs, right? Because like you said with the Bucks, with Donovan Mitchell, right? Like yeah, unstoppable score, but now you got to go against three defenders, so they can throw three different guys. There's all these strategies and these nuances that like it brings so much like
yep.
you know um, fun to the game. And so with Embiid, yeah, like with the Celtics, I think they have too much firepower to be honest. And again, they're still defensively, you know,
Great.
up
They
there.
slipped a bit in the last couple weeks, but I
Yeah.
think yeah. A lot of people are kind of doubting the Celtics now. Like even my buddy's a big Celtics fan, and he's like, there's a lot of problems. But honestly, man, they're too deep to not make a good run here. I'd be surprised if the 76ers get past the Celtics, then they have a chance of making then they could beat the Bucks because then that's like that next step. Because I don't think they've made an East Final yet,
No, but
so that would be
it'll
for
be
sure.
interesting because remember when Giannis went up against Kawhi, right?
Yes, I
Because Kawhi was like just a little bit above him at that time, and it made it for a big difference. And it's the exact same thing. Giannis is just he's still a little bit above Embiid. He has a lot more of that playoff that
and pedigree,
pedigree.
all that
So
stuff.
like he will how do you say will understand how to maybe force Embiid into like you know not playing his game. You understand what I mean? It's
I
a more
agree.
difficult
I agree,
situation.
and I think Bucks have a better supporting cast. I think Boston has a better supporting cast,
Yeah,
and a lot of times, like we were saying with Mitchell, if Mitchell gets locked down, who's going to be their next big scorer?
there you go.
If Garland, he's an okay scorer. He's a 20-point scorer, but is he dropping 30, 40 a game?
There you
If
go.
they're not really that type of player, right? They don't really have anyone else on the Cavs that could drop that. Like Mobley's pretty young. Allen isn't that player. So yeah, I think that's why I give the Bucks or the Celtics the edge. I see honestly, I really see the Bucks making the finals this year. I do. It's kind of hard to knock them where they've had Middleton out for a big portion of the year. Most of their year is about trying to get Middleton ready for the playoffs. They went on that massive winning streak. Like they're good. They're really good. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's play in real quick.
Okay.
See the Raptors taking it past the play in and into the playoffs.
Uh, yeah, possibility. I didn't really get to talk about the Hawks, but like, I mean, I don't know. Trae Young's been disappointing in his career, at least in my opinion, so far. Kind of.
What did you? Okay, so here's my question to you. What did you like? What was your expectations for Trae Young coming in? Like you said, he's like underperformed. Like what was the expectations for him for you?
Well, I mean, he got past Philly. Well, maybe it was just a fluke because Ben Simmons was.
It was Ben
sorry,
Ben Simmons.
sorry. I mean, look, it's following him in the Nets right now. So, but maybe I was just like, maybe I said, oh wow, like he got past the Sixers, so maybe, and like he went 6 games with the Bucks, I believe, in the conference finals, right? And then
I
Bucks,
think
and then Bucks went on to
five,
win, huh? No,
five or
six.
six.
It was six. It was 6 games. So
Six.
when I saw that, I kind of saw a similar Steph Curry moment. But then again, it's not even fair because Steph Curry did that against the Spurs. Went 6 games with them against the Spurs, and like that was I don't know if you remember that time when in game one he went off for like 30, 40. Like he was like everything that he was throwing up was just going in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But you know what though? Like I think Trae Young, a lot of players are trying to follow Steph Curry, and it's like I don't think they can play like him. One guy said it best: if Trae Young followed the Steve Nash model, he would have done probably a lot more better. Just
Well,
you know,
here I agree with you. He's not Steph Curry. He's close to Steph Curry as anyone could get because there's no one like Steph Curry out there. But the one difference is Trae Young needs the ball in it. Like he is a ball dominant player. He runs the offense. That's why this year's been disappointing with Murray because he was supposed to Murray was supposed to run the point, and Trae was supposed to be in that Steph Curry spot where he's motion, run, constant movement. Trae Young's not that guy.
yeah,
Trae Young's the guy where he doesn't need the ball to score. Either he has the ball in his hand and he gets someone else an easy layup, a dunk, whatever, or he's taking a lot of 3-point shots, a lot of dribble drives, a lot of free throws because he's a big flopper a lot of times. He pops his head back like he's about to get shot.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not a big Trae Young fan personally. I think them making it to the East Final was like a great accomplishment, but then they followed it up with a disappointing following year, and this year's almost the same. And they have talent on that team,
It might
like
be the
utter.
ceiling.
But sorry,
It might be the ceiling for them. Like
no,
with that team, like that.
I.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
But that's the thing. Talent wise, they have more talent than the Knicks. Like I thought they would be competing with the Knicks for the sixth spot, or sorry, the fifth spot, maybe with the Cavs, because they have players on that team.
Right.
Like you got Murray, you got Trae Young, you got Collins, you got what's the big man, Capella. Like you have their small forward / power forward. Like
Yeah.
they have guys on that team that could ball.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think Trae Young that's holding them back. Like I just the expectations of him being an off-ball scorer has not worked out this year.
And he should be. And speaking of off-ball scorers, we're gonna head to the West
Yes, sir.
because you just talked about Steph and Clay. Um, you know,
And great off-ball scores. None of them need the ball. in their hands.
And they had some disappointing losses after the All Star break. Like I don't know if you saw, they kind of lost like quite a some winnable games, man, just winnable games. But they went on a like I think they won like 5 out of their last. Let me see some here. Sorry, I see it. They won their last three. So yeah, they went on a 3 game winning streak. Looks like.
They're 6-4 in their last two
Hold on.
games.
Let me see some.
They had that really tough loss. Did you watch the Minnesota game?
I
They
didn't
were,
watch, but I heard about, like, I saw the score by
and
three
I was
points, right?
watching.
Lost by 3 points, right?
No, well, yeah, I think so at the end. But what happened was they were winning, and they were trying to keep the ball away from them to not get fouled. And they gave it to Green up top, and he passed it. And Kyle Anderson ended up getting a deflection. They got the steal, and then it was a pull up three from Towns, which like completely like. Whew. I was watching, I'm like, oh my god, they crapped the bed at
Damn.
the last second. Like they were winning. They were winning. They played great. They were down, and I believe they came back in the game. And yeah, it was disappointing. So if they won that game, they would be what,
I think
close to
in the fifth
passing.
spot,
Close to passing the fourth, the Suns.
right?
Like that would be, it would be like close. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that's going to be exact, but yeah. Let's talk about the East. You want to do the
West,
play-in and the Mavs, or you want to do the top guys?
West. Holy crap, Mavs are on
Yeah.
11th spot.
Huh?
I said Mavs are on 11th spot. What the heck
Yeah.
happened
Yeah,
there?
man. To trade, what they've been 3-11, I believe.
Last 10 is 3-7, but yeah, they probably lost
Yeah.
4.
So it's been really, really tough. I think. Okay. So I don't know, like how you're gonna. What's your opinion on it? But I wouldn't blame Kyrie in this situation. It just so happens that the Mavs, coming off of a great year last year, losing Brunson, they haven't filled any holes that they had issues with. So they have great 3-point shooting all around, but they're very weak defensively. And then you trade Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney Smith, who were their top defensive guards, or 2-3 position. Um, and you traded him for Irving, who is not a good defender. That's a lot of flaws right there. So unless you're outscoring everyone, you're not going to win. Like I didn't see them dropping this far. I think they would have been kind of where the Warriors Clippers are, but I think the Warriors and the Clippers are better. Just to be what, they're a game out of the Oklahoma City Thunder in 11.
And
They
oh boy,
Charlotte. That is the most shocking to me. Like I think I watched the second Charlotte game, and they just, like, Charlotte looked like a playoff team against them. They were getting whatever they wanted on the offensive end, couldn't stop them. Luka was playing great offensively, but both Luka and Kyrie just can't play defense. So when you face guys like Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward, who are vets that can score, they look really bad. So I still think that somehow they're going to figure it out, and maybe the Thunder will get the 11th spot and the Mavs will get in, but they could beat the Wolves maybe with Gobert on the Wolves. I'm sure high pick and roll is going to be steady. I don't know if they can make the playoffs here, man. Like I don't know your opinion on the trade and what's going on, but yeah, that's my opinion.
well, like I don't know in terms of making this year's playoff, because like that Kyrie Irving trade, was it a long-term thing, because, or even a 2 year, 3 year, like,
Well, he's a free agent.
because I don't believe he's gonna be around for long, Kyrie Irving. That's just my opinion of the matter. I don't think he's gonna be in that city, or may not even be playing basketball soon. To be honest with you, to see how his career is going. But
I
but
think he'll. I'm sure. I'm sure the Lakers, if something, whatever happens with the Lakers, I'm sure the Lakers are going to pursue him,
yeah,
LeBron, and AD.
and he's
But
probably
who knows?
best going to LA, to be honest. Just go play with LeBron if you want. If I mean, if you're serious about getting a ring, I don't know, because he doesn't really seem serious about winning. That's just how I'm looking at him. Like, do you want?
Yeah,
Like, does he even want to be in the NBA? I don't know if he even wants to be there.
Well, the reason why he asked for a trade in Brooklyn was because they didn't want to give him a full long term deal. So I think he does. I just, yeah, I don't know where he could go from here. Like
because
the only option would be going to the Lakers or re-signing with the Mavs. Like I think them talking about Luka being like unhappy, that's a big issue for Dallas.
let me say
So if
this
it's
too.
Kyrie, yeah, go
Let
ahead.
me say this too. Let's just say, how long are the Warriors going to be around for? Maybe next year, maybe 2 years. Like max 2 years, I think the Warriors are done.
I
Right?
don't want to say.
But
I
let's just.
can't say.
I need a hypothetical like projection here. So help me out.
Okay, I mean, like not championship,
No, I'm
like
talking about
not a.
like with their core, Steph, Clay, and Dre. How long are they going to be together with that core?
If I was the Warriors, I would sign all three of those guys until they retire. I wouldn't
Okay.
let them leave.
All right. Sorry. Okay.
But they wouldn't be a championship team if that happens.
Different question. How long are they going to be a championship pedigree team with those three guys intact? Maybe another year or two. Maybe right. Maybe right.
Yeah.
Like 2 years
Well,
max.
do you want to expand on this, or you want a yes or no answer?
No, I just need a yes or no answer. I don't need nothing
Okay. Yeah, maybe 2 years max.
max. Okay.
They're the focal point of the Golden State Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years, maybe.
So do you think Kyrie and Luka have a chance? Because like the way if I'm a GM, this is how I'm planning. Because as long as the Warriors are still around, they're a championship team. That's just how I'm looking at it, right? So,
Yeah.
do you think Kyrie and Luka have enough to beat them, right? And even if not them, do they have enough to beat the Suns with the Kevin Durant, or if not them, do they have enough to beat Grizzlies or the Nuggets? Are they
And Phoenix is, I think, another 3 years with this core.
right?
Maybe they'll substitute Paul for like a younger point guard, starting point guard, because Paul's getting up there in age.
Right.
But no, not better than Phoenix. I don't even think they're better than the Grizzlies with Ja, and like they have a pretty solid team. The Warriors, no. I would even put the Clippers. They're not better than the Clippers.
Right. So that trade to me, and on top of that too, Kyrie and LeBron worked because LeBron was a freak of nature and they both were like athletic. So it's like, eh, they play a very fast-paced style. Luka's more of a slow, like smooth
Yeah, he's
player.
he likes the half court.
Right. And I don't think they suit each other too well in that manner. Because it's just gonna be one-on-one. It's like LeBron and Kyrie all over again. It's gonna be one-on-one, but it's just a lot more slower. So I don't think it serves them well at all. That's just me, because
You're saying the two guys together don't work.
I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just
Like scheme wise and like LeBron and Kyrie was a better fit, but you got to remember LeBron was still LeBron. Like he's not LeBron now. He's LeBron. Can do everything on the court, defense,
right, and Luka can't do that.
offense. Like I see the only way of him coming back to Dallas. Again, this is if his opinion changes on long-term deals because they need to retool. Like they don't have enough pieces now. Like their third best player is Tim Hardaway Jr. He's a fifth, sixth best player at best on a good team. So like they don't have any bigs that are like I know he's Canadian, but Powell's not a starting center on a good team. He's not. Even though he was last year, and they had Brunson playing, like they had a bunch of guys doing amazing things, but they need to retool 100%. If they don't retool or they bring back the same players, Kyrie signs a 1 year or 2 year deal, they're going to be in the same spot, like you said. But if you put guys around them, I think they could be a solid team. I think. I can't guarantee, but I think they have like they can play offensively like LeBron and Kyrie did because Luka's a better shooter than LeBron ever was. He's a great passer, great court vision. Yes, he's a little slow. Or team to be stopped. And if he's not, because Kyrie's on the team, he's going to score a lot of buckets because he's one-on-one. If he gets doubled, he's a good passer to find other guys to shoot, right? It's just the defensive side that gets affected massively. Like they have to hide. They've needed to hide Luka in almost every playoffs. They can't do that this year.
Well,
Who are they going to hide? You got to hide Kyrie and Luka. They don't have players for that. They don't. And I think that's the big deal.
Yeah. But let's look at the 1 to 8.
Yeah, first, or you want to do the top of the West?
Let's do the top of the West.
Okay. Who fears if you were a bottom team or a team in the play-in? Do you fear Denver? Do you fear the Grizzlies? Do you fear Sacramento? Can't believe I'm saying that, but do you fear those guys?
No, well, you don't fear those guys because none of them have made a champ. None of them have made a conference finals
Denver did in the bubble.
against Portland. No, no, no,
Remember
no,
they
no,
came.
no.
No, it was they won against Utah being down 3-1. They beat the Clippers being down 3-1, and then they lost to the
Lakers
Lakers.
lost to
Yeah,
LA. Yeah,
so
yeah.
they have done it, but it's bubble year. And since then, first round knockout with again they had injuries. Like I like Jokic. Um, yeah, what do you think? So then none of those guys really scare you, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, they wouldn't. Like the Lakers have a chance to beat the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. Like that, like they'll probably put up a they'll probably put up a fight. But eventually, they will lose. I think they will lose regardless. So Denver moves on. Grizzlies move on. If the Kings face the Clippers might knock them out, right? If Kawhi, right? Because again,
Clippers, the Clippers are
when is a superstar? I would think is if the Kings face the Warriors, they'll probably get knocked out. So they probably want to face the Clippers rather than the Warriors. But yeah, they could.
yeah. I think do you really like? I don't know, man. I think the Kings. I have no faith in the Kings, so it's kind of hard for me to like not talk terrible about them. But yeah, any team I see them getting knocked out first round.
Yeah,
Their success them making the playoffs for the first time in what 16 years.
right.
They have a solid team. They're the Kings. Like until they do it, like with the Raptors for the longest time, until they won the first round matchup, I got no faith until that happens.
Yeah, because of the Kings, to see like what I can see this happening with against the Clippers, right? They'll lose the first game against LA at home. They'll beat them in the second game. LA wins the next two. Kings win game five, and then LA kills them out in six. Usually teams like that, that's what there's a history of that happening when the first time. Remember like the
I,
Raptors against the
a
Nets?
lot of matchups right there, man.
Huh?
Losing game one, winning game two, losing two in a row. Da, da, da. Yeah, yeah, I see it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no, I agree with you. I agree with you for
remember the
sure.
Raptors? Remember Raptors win against the Nets against Vince Carter? Was it Vince Carter? I
Yeah,
think it was
Bosch,
VC.
the
Yeah,
Bosch
Bosch.
era.
Lost the first game, won the second game, lost the next two, won game five, lost game six. Nets move on to face
Yep.
LeBron, I believe it was, or Wade. But it doesn't really matter. So the Suns and Warriors, I think the Warriors are gonna take out the Suns because no KD, right? There's no
No,
KD.
KD's back. KD's back.
Okay,
KD's back.
no, okay, that's a different story now.
I think that's gonna be a really. I think that's gonna be
That's a seven
a,
game.
unless it's Denver Lakers in the first round, or well, I mean Lakers Grizzly too. Whoever the Lakers face is gonna be a must watch. But the Suns and the Warriors, I'm not a massive Warriors fan, but like I like Curry, I like Clay, I like Draymond. The only time I root against the Warriors is when they're playing the Raptors. I'm hoping they don't face the Suns because that's a first round knockout, man. I think
I don't know.
Phoenix has too much offense. Like who's guarding KD? Okay, so if Wiggins doesn't come back with his stuff that's been going on with his personal life, if he doesn't come back, who's gonna like Kaminga's gonna guard KD? Kaminga's a solid defender, but who's gonna guard KD?
Uh,
Hold
yeah,
on, who's guarding Devin Booker?
I don't think you
Clay.
have to worry about that too much.
You think offensively?
I don't think you have to worry about that too much. No, well, see, I shouldn't say that. I'm not trying to say them. Okay, I gotta make sure I say them right here.
You
All
see,
right.
I'm shocked.
Let me say something. Let me say this correctly, because sometimes I may say something, and people will be like, "What are you?" Like, no, no, no. This is what I mean. Devin Booker is lethal, 100% lethal. Like he can take out the Warriors by himself. I know that. I know Kevin
Yeah.
Durant can take out the Warriors by himself. I know that. Chris Paul, he doesn't have that same ability, but he's gonna get his team involved. So we know he's gonna be impactful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I know that the Warriors are gonna make right adjustments because you're not facing them one on one. It's not a one on one team you're facing. Like you're facing like especially when playoff time comes, like it's not the same team, right? And especially Steph and Clay look pretty good. They look pretty good right now. I'm just saying they look pretty good.
They,
And let's be honest, right? I know Clay and Steph are getting older, but if one of those two starts letting loose, and if both of them let loose, that's a 7 game series, and they have the capability of doing it. So
if that's the case, there's nothing Phoenix can do.
yeah,
They had defenders, but they traded their defenders for the KD trade, which I would have done the same. But yeah, I think. Okay, would you say DeAndre Ayton would be the X factor in this? Because
yeah,
if anyone's gonna go off, it's gonna be the guy
Aiden.
that's on the court. That like him and Looney are gonna be the like a key matchup. So if Ayton doesn't play up to what we expect from him, yeah,
But
I don't know, man.
but it's the thing though, right? Because Aiden may be better 1-on-1, but it's not like Looney is not going to score his buckets, and that's the crazy thing about the Warriors because you got to pick and roll with Looney and Steph. Looney's gonna roll, and he knows how to score within. So like, if Aiden scores 20 and Looney scores 14, well, I mean, you're not losing much there. You
They
know what I'm
can't do
saying?
it. Yeah,
So that's the thing about the Warriors. Like, it's not the same team. Like they're a way different team, a whole level, right? Of remember what happened? Remember against Toronto? Because some people disrespected the Warriors back in when they faced Toronto. Man, it was just
hey, no slander of the Raptors here,
no, 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 no.
please.
The Raptors like they thought that it should have been a sweep. I'm just like, you had one guy injured,
The Raptors should have swept the
swept the
Warriors.
Warriors. People say that. I'm just like, are you out of your mind? Like in game two, they went on a 20-0 run. You know what I'm saying?
That was the game. That
20-0
was the
run.
game.
In
That
game
was, that was game two right there. 20-0 run.
in game five, was it? KD only had 11 points.
Well, that was the one he tore his Achilles, right?
Yeah, but that's when he went off. Like
He had 11 points in the first quarter.
and
Like,
and I think that was enough for the Warriors to win. So just take that in. In game six, Clay was going off. Like, and he got injured.
yeah.
So it's like with them, it's like if you don't step on the gas pedal with them at the right time, you can't give them no breathing room. None. Like the little breathing room they have, like you could lose a series.
The one thing I will say to piggyback on what you said, they remember they were talking about when Kawhi won MVP that Fred got one vote because of the great defense he played on Curry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen Curry's stats in the 2019 finals, but they were like plus his stats from the regular season. He went off in the finals. He was the only option, of course, but he had to take more of a ball handling road instead of passing ball movement. He was great. He was great. So yeah,
He had 47 in game three. That's why.
sorry.
He had 47 in game three. That's why.
Yeah, he had good numbers, man. He had good numbers. Yeah, not to
Well,
rip.
big
I'm
league
not going to
season.
rip the Raptors. I'm not that guy. I'm not the person to do that. But the Raptors had great defense in
Oh,
in
sorry.
those three playoff
May I
series.
cut you
So
off for a second? Sorry.
of course,
I'm not listening to Raptors. I'm saying the Raptors. Like
yeah,
when I was like people, the Raptors fans that are watching,
yeah.
or like I would say people that don't really watch basketball were saying that they should have been swept. I'm like, bruh, pump the brakes. Like you don't know what you're
The,
talking about.
the one thing that people didn't realize was KD was injured for a lot of. I believe it was the West final or the second. I think they faced the Rockets when the Rockets took them to Game 7 the year before, and they lost. So they're like, oh, now without KD, Houston's going to beat the Warriors. And with just Draymond, Clay, and Steph, they beat them. They embarrassed them to the point where
Oh,
they had to trade Chris Paul away. So it's not like those three guys weren't capable to
oh man, he's freezing.
win the finals. Like it was like if they would have won and the Raptors would have lost the finals because of those three guys, you would just be like, those are three future Hall of Famers. Like they're the core of the team.
And,
Yes, they were good before KD got there, so it's not like they're not capable of doing it.
and can I say something here too? Against the Portland series where they swept them, Draymond Green took over that series. So I'm just saying, like
They have
they're not unusual. They're not a usual team. They're an unusual team to play against. You
exactly
know what I mean?
agree.
So
Yeah, it all depends on what because Kerr's a good coach, man. Like I find like okay, if Wiggins doesn't come back, it's gonna be very difficult for the Warriors to win because Wiggins was the second best player in the finals last year, behind Curry.
So can I
Like
say that?
he had a
Oh, go
big
ahead.
focal point.
So
Go
can I?
ahead.
So can I? So, sorry. So Nuggets beats Lakers. Grizzlies beat Pelicans. I'm
Wait,
so
wait, wait. Say that first one again?
Grizzlies beat Oh, Nuggets beat Lakers.
Okay, I thought you switched it, I think.
No, Grizzlies beat Pelicans. Right.
Hold
Uh,
on. If Zion comes back, do you think New Orleans could beat the Grizzlies? Just want
yeah,
to get
yeah,
a
yeah, 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 yeah. They can
You
beat
think
them.
so?
Yeah, they can beat them.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening. I think Grizzlies are just a better team overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, if Zion goes up for like 60 points average in that series,
So you don't think it's possible because nobody can average 60 again. This isn't Will Chamberlain.
but I think Clippers beat Kings, right? So this is all I want to say. Um, if Warriors go number 6, they're going straight to the conference finals. That's all I got to say to that because they're gonna beat the Kings, and I think they're gonna beat the Grizzlies.
I agree. I agree. I think the first round matchup is going to be their toughest because if they go the route with the Suns, then they have to. Who's the next team? They have to beat
Nuggets,
the
Nuggets. It's Suns Nuggets.
so and that's. I mean, I still see who's gonna who defensively. My buddy was talking about the Grizzlies. One of the Grizzlies, not the Grizzlies, the Nuggets' problem with their team is they're not deep enough. They got 7 guys, maybe 8 guys that could be rolled out. One injury and they're in trouble. So I'm rooting for the Nuggets to do well, but it all depends on what they do in the playoffs. They need wins.
Grizzlies or Clippers? Who do you think takes that? Because Kawhi
Clips.
Leonard is an X factor in that game, man.
Clippers 100%.
You
They're
think
too
Clippers
deep.
beat the
I
Grizzlies?
because also the Grizzlies are injured. Like Steven Adams was a big loss for them. I don't know if he's coming back. They're missing the Canadian guy Clark off the bench, who's another big. Like they went from being a really big team to now they're going to be much smaller. They're going to have to rely on Ja to be great, to be phenomenal, and you have to also think, okay, Ja has to also be healthy throughout the playoffs, which he wasn't last year.
His
So
knee, right? Was his knee?
knee or ankle, one of the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Clippers, I think the Clippers have underperformed this year because of injuries, but they're a very deep team. They have guys coming off the bench that could start for a lot of playoff teams. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
So you tell me the Clippers have a chance to make it to the finals?
I do.
Wow.
You don't think so?
Doubt. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just like I just don't see
Have
it.
you looked? Have you seen their roster recently? You got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got
Oh, but
Zubac,
Westbrook's there,
Play
man.
off the
Like
bench. You got Covington. You got Eric Gordon. You got that man player, the young kid. You got who else?
Nicholas Batum,
Nicholas Batum, who
Mason
plays great.
Plumlee is pretty solid.
Yeah, like most of their bench can start on other teams.
Yeah, they got a solid squad still. Marcus Morris, they got a solid
Yeah,
squad.
see, he's starting for them. Like they're 10 deep. They're,
It's
they're
10 deep with one big problem.
yeah,
You know what it is?
they're the Clippers.
Huh?
They're the Clippers.
Westbrook.
Oh, I forgot about Westbrook. Hey, Westbrook's been playing good the last.
Don't try it. Stop.
Why does it? Okay,
Don't.
did
Because
you
you know
see
why? I'll tell you
Did
why.
you see? No, hold on. Did you see him play? Uh, who would have honestly thought that he would have worked with the Lakers? Everyone saw that wasn't going to work from before they even talked about the trade.
No, not everybody.
You can't put a guy
Only people that really
who's a
saw.
bad 3-point shooter with LeBron. LeBron needs
Yeah,
shooters around.
we know that, but I knew it was not gonna work. You knew it was not, but not everybody. Some people thought, oh yeah, LeBron was gonna be great. He's gonna make it work.
Like 26-year-old LeBron probably would have made, or sorry, 23rd, like Miami Heat days LeBron probably could have made it work with Westbrook. Westbrook at 27, probably just super athletic, but not at the age that they're at now. Westbrook needs to be the guy with the ball, a big man who's a star, and shooters around them. they would be good. And look what happened when I think they missed. George and Paul were George and
Leonard.
Kawhi were out. He went off. He played great. You need guys around him. Like their team is deep, so they put shooters, they put a big, like they worked. It worked well for them. So as long as he doesn't get where I need to shoot a bunch of threes, which I don't know, like I don't know why. Who's talking to him to shoot threes? I don't know. But like he shoots a lot. If you give him the ball, yes, he's a high turnover guy, but the amount of slander that went with Westbrook, I just man, this guy loves the game. He's such a,
That's
everyone used
not
to love
that's
him for
not the
heart.
problem. That's not the problem. The problem is that in crunch time, and we're talking about. Let me not do my long soliloquy. All right, he's a good father. Stephen A. Smith. He's a good father, good brother. Great family guy. Just amazing husband, wonderful guy. Like we don't have to do all that. Okay, we're talking basketball. All right, the man takes poor shots. His IQ. I just don't get it. And one thing I don't understand is that how can you be in the league at the highest for so long and just continue to make decisions like that. And there you go, decision making. It's all it is. I mean, you had Durant, you had LeBron, right? You had James Harden. The James Harden thing, like I kind of know is not gonna
What?
work either. Yeah, twice.
Um, I
No,
mean, he had a better year with Houston than he did with the Lakers. It wasn't great. It was they were still a really good team.
right,
They got knocked out against the Lakers when they won the championship. So like
right.
his
But
worst was with the Lakers because there was no shooting around them. They were the worst shooting team in the league.
right, but his best season we know is when Durant left because he was able to.
His usage rate
You
went
know what
up.
I mean? But like at first though, beginning of the season, he was looking pretty nice. He was doing things that I thought he was supposed to be doing. Like at the beginning of that season, he was hitting some clutch shots, taking mid-range jumpers, like hitting like he was playing. I'm like, oh, he's playing really like I like how he's playing. After a while, he got addicted to the triple doubles, and it kind of it was like him on wheat on crack or something. Like he's a triple double crack addict and that's what he played for. So he played for that's his legacy. He played for the triple double man. But like we all know, that's not gonna win championships. I mean, they try to put what Paul George and Carmelo Anthony around him, and it did not work. Who knows? Now he has Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I don't know how that's going to. We're not gonna see it's gonna play out. But as long as the thing is, as long as because with Carmelo Anthony, like he kind of had issues himself, and again, him is the same thing. It's like IQ, or it's like it's like awareness. It's like to win a championship or to be a championship type of team. There's like those little things that LeBron does that they don't do, or that Kawhi does that they don't do. You understand what I
Mm.
mean? Like Kawhi plays
Yeah.
defense. Kawhi knew that okay, I had to go play defense on Giannis. Reason why I like the 2017 Warriors going up against the Cavaliers was that LeBron had to go guard Durant, but nobody talked about that, and he went to go hide. But you can't, like you said, you can't hide Luka. You can't hide LeBron. You have to. There's someone that's 6'11". You gotta go play him. You can't be hiding from him. So with this, you can hide Westbrook, right? You got Kawhi and Paul George. Hopefully, so on offense, he gives he will kind of I don't know work his way into their flow. The issue is that I know teams are gonna leave him open to shoot threes. We know that. We know they are, right? So
Mhm.
go on. What's your take?
The one thing, the one thing I will say, because I agree with a lot of things you're saying, not about the father stuff. Like he's a good man. Like who cares about like who cares? We're talking basketball, right? I do you remember like KD's best year? We could still say before this year because he had a great year, and then injuries came up. But his best years were in OKC, numbers wise. You don't think so?
Oh, numbers wise?
Yeah, we're talking. Okay, so with KD, it's a little different.
Okay.
His best year, he was playing with Westbrook stats wise. Okay, Paul George's best year in the NBA, where he was third in MVP voting. What team was he on?
OKC, right?
OKC. Westbrook was on that
Yeah,
team.
he was
Bradley Beals, sorry,
so was he also like MVP candidate because he was like he was
he was MVP,
offense and
and
defense he was like at the peak or something like that if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
he
Okay.
was scoring, he was doing everything great.
Okay.
Now let me ask you another question. Do you know Bradley Beal's best year in the NBA?
Oh, don't think the Wizards with Westbrook.
Yes.
Okay.
So to not knock him as a player, like yes, he has challenges on the offensive and defensive end, IQ wise, making the correct decision, being smart with the basketball, not being turnover prone. But he helped a lot of players. Like, yes, it didn't come with success as a champion, but to say that he's not, like, he's helped a lot of players. Like Paul George, his best year was with him. Beal, his best year was with him. KD, he was with Westbrook when he won his MVP. He hasn't won an MVP since. Like, who would, at any point of Paul George's career, you thought he'd be in the MVP voting? I didn't. All-star, perennial all-star, all-around offensive player, defensive player. He was an MVP candidate with Westbrook. So, yeah, just to not go too long on this because I know we got more to talk about. But, yeah, I got a lot of respect for Westbrook because he plays a lot of passion. Like, do you know how many guys we watch? Like, you and I have seen a bunch of Raptor games where you could see some guys are just checked out. Not this year, but, before the playoff era where they made so many playoff games.
Here it is though.
We've seen guys with a lot of talent not look like they're trying. You can't say that about Westbrook, him not trying, him not putting
That's true.
100% effort in.
But here it
That
is
is
though.
respect.
Here it
Sorry?
is though. Here it is. Here it is. So, Kevin Durant's best season with the Golden State Warriors. He shot 60% from the 2-point field goal.
Yeah.
60%. He never shot 60% from inside the arc with Westbrook anytime. He did shoot 3-point. Like I think his best was. Oh no, it's okay. By like a smidge, like 42% was with. I think it's Seattle. Oh no, OKC. With the first year, I guess OKC turned whatever. That was in 2008, 2009. 42% from the 3-point arc. But I guess I don't know when Westbrook. When did Westbrook come in? What was that? What you are you muted? Okay, what was that? Sorry.
No, I think if KD played 1 year before Westbrook came, I
Right.
believe. Westbrook never played for Seattle. He got drafted by Seattle, but then they moved.
Right.
And his first was as like a OKC Thunder. Yeah, I think with KD, it's so let me ask you a question. After Harden left, and it was just him and Westbrook, can you name the next 5 players for OKC?
After
After Westbrook and after KD.
when they both were there.
Yeah, when it was them two the last few years before KD.
Harden, Ibaka.
No, after Harden was gone.
So
remember they made the finals with Harden, and then he left that offseason.
Yeah.
After that, can you name 5 guys that were on the team?
Cephalosha, Ibaka. Was Steven Adams there? Was Steven Adams there?
Yep, it was in the Harden trade. Yeah, he was a draft pick, and they drafted him.
I mean, if I was there, but I mean, I would have been able to name it if I was.
Kenneth Cantor.
Did they?
Percent. Yep. Kevin Martin came back in the Harden trade. So that's what I'm talking about. Can you name guys the 3 years? Name 3 guys that were on the Golden State Warriors when KD came. I'll wait. It's pretty quick.
When KD came.
Like Thompson came on. So the power that they had in Golden State is very hard because no one could double KD. No one. It was all straight up because he had like juggernaut offensive players on his team. Other than Westbrook and Serge Ibaka, who's a respectable big man, they didn't have a lot of like the team around Westbrook and KD was poor.
So
can you agree with that?
I get this is so hard to really say because then again, they had that same team down 3-1, didn't they?
They did.
So
yes, sir.
But because of who
that
though?
Was
but because
KD
of who?
And Westbrook.
But because of who?
Because of who?
What because do you mean? Of who though? Was it because of Westbrook and KD or just mainly KD?
And then Westbrook started making suspect decisions. Yes. But KD also didn't play that great in 5, 6, 7.
I know he did not. I know he did
Klay
not.
Thompson decided to be, Jesus in game 5, I believe. I think it was no
Game
game
six.
6.
He's
Game 6, he went
there's a
crazy.
game six Clay. Game six
Yeah,
Clay is real.
real. But like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't want to rip on Kate like Westbrook. I know we got a lot more stuff to talk about, but yeah, put
Oh,
a little bit of respect on him. He's a future Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
He's
It's tough
Mr.
for
Triple
me.
Double. You
It,
can't average 4 seasons. Well, I think 4 seasons he averaged a triple double.
it's tough for me. You get, it's just tough. I'll just leave it at that. So,
Yeah,
just quickly, Nuggets beat Lakers. Grizzlies beat Pelicans. At least the way how things are without Zion coming back.
yeah,
Clippers beat Kings. Suns and Warriors. Whew.
that's a top. I
I'm
think it's a.
I'm gonna take the Warriors.
You're gonna take the
I'm
Warriors.
taking the Warriors. Who you
All right.
taking?
If it stays them two, I'm gonna take the Suns.
Okay.
But I'm hoping the Warriors slip to the 6th spot. I
Right.
hope. As like a Warriors, I want them to win again. I want them to be competitive again.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. But yeah, maybe we could do like a little friendly
We'll do
wage.
our brackets and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Warriors beat Nuggets. Grizzlies beat oh well I don't know about that. I mean
You know what we
the
could do?
Clippers.
You know what we could do? When the play-ins are done and all the teams are set, we'll do the brackets. We might have to do it off air, and then the next podcast we'll show it. We'll
Yeah.
kind of chat.
And then
We'll say this.
we'll
What I
compare. We'll compare our
Yeah.
thing.
I
Kind of
got
like
the
a
Raptors making
Stephen
the
A.
finals.
Skip Bayless.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Anything else with basketball?
Yeah, so I guess the thing that happened last week was I went to go do some coaching for a friend for his men's league, and we ended up winning, which was cool. Um,
Nice.
yeah, man, some of the guys they were cool. They were like I guess when you have a coach there, that he can kind of see things and point things into perspective. One thing I realized that helps a lot is like keeping it simple, like super simple. Like don't overcomplicate nothing at all. Like if they had a pick and roll going, yeah, use the pick and roll. If it's there, hit him. And when they hit him, it worked. If it's crowded, hey, don't pass it. Just swing it to the other side and get something else going.
That
S-
retool. Yeah.
Simple as bro. Simple as that, man. And they played well. I gotta give them credit. Um, but yeah, afterwards, I met with an old friend, and I started talking about like my business ideas and stuff I would want to do, and um, it's crazy because even he was like so happy to like even hear me talk like this. It was like our energies were kind of bouncing off each other. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, he subscribed to my basketball channel. I even showed him our podcast, so hopefully, subscribe to our podcast.
Nice.
So I, I, I know I'm liking that as I'm really searching for more people and more environments in that area. Like I'm finding it, and yeah, man, like I just love talking to people with ambition and not negative.
It gets juices flowing for sure.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
really does do something, eh? When you hear positive words with positive energy, it does do something to you, eh?
Yeah. Like that's why they say the five closest people, you're the average of the five closest people that you're around. You want to put yourself with guys, maybe not just business successful, but also just positive, energetic people.
Yeah,
You know, like even this week, I was in situations where I needed to motivate someone else because they were, for whatever reason, not feeling themselves or a little bit down, um, thinking that the results aren't coming for whatever reason. And, it's just like, hey, if we don't do what we need to do, we're going to feel even worse
right.
afterwards.
Hey, good
Let's
point.
get,
Good points, buddy.
you
Good
know,
points.
and like that's kind of like what I do about like the motivational part of it is like, man, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel so much worse afterward. So it's like, let's just bite the bullet because the thought of doing something and then actually doing it are two different things. You have to get past the, oh my goodness, I have to do X, Y, Z. It's going to be so difficult. It's going to be so hard. But when you start doing it, you're like, hey, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I need to go, talk to 10 people about my basketball business, my coaching business. Oh man, I'm scared they're going to say no. I gotta go knock on doors or
Doors.
make phone calls, try to see if people need anything regarding mortgages. Oh man, I'm nervous. What if they say no? They say no. You move on to the next person, right? Like so many people are saying try to get 100 no's a day. For you to get 100 no's a day, you've had to talk to 100 people, and you do that consistently, you're gonna get a yes at some point, because the amount of people you talk to and the amount of people that you're opening up to, maybe one person says no, but another person that they know, their son loves basketball and wants and is just waiting for the opportunity to be trained by someone. You know,
It's like there's somebody out there that's waiting for you. You just gotta go search for them.
and if you don't like, if you specifically, Mike, for example, don't do it, you're missing the opportunity, but they're missing. You're not able to help them if you don't get in their face, right? And yeah, like you just keep replaying that in your head. Like, hey, I want to be successful for my family. I want to be successful for my children, my wife, my mom, my sister. I want to do it for my family. I want to do it because of this, this, and this. I get that positive attitude and that push from that because, man, you don't want to let your family down. Granted, you don't, you're not successful, whatever. Your family's still gonna love you. You're gonna figure out a way because you're not gonna, not set up your family in the right direction. But it's that positivity that really keeps you going.
That's support.
Like I get a
Yeah.
bite, man, on like a deal or helping someone. You just, oh man, I want another one. I want to help someone else. I want to help someone else. Like when we were talking, I think it was last week, a couple weeks ago, probably. We were just talking about basketball, trying to get back into, either joining a league or even doing like soft training, light training, not heavy duty craziness, because I'm a little older now. But like just talking about doing it makes you feel like, man, I'm dying to put myself in a position where we could actually start playing ball again. And now, like, that's all I can think about every day. I'm like,
Nice.
man, am I doing the right stuff to put myself in a position to play more basketball?
Yeah.
Just that was exciting. Even with my buddy, like we were telling us trying to join a league and going to LA Fitness and playing there, like just that excites me and makes you feel, not necessarily like on a high, but like it keeps you going. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have businesses where you're gonna have a few days where you don't get any bites and you're working hard and you don't see the results just yet. You're going to need that motivation to push through that and to keep going.
Hmm.
And if you have, if you, let's say I'm your guy to, you had a rough couple of days with your business for whatever reason, you call me up and I'm like, yeah, it's real tough. Starting your own business is really hard and this and that. And, 50%, 60% of them fail. Like you really got to think it through and is it all worth it? Imagine hearing that after you need some guidance from a person that you trust. Imagine how that's going to set your mind up in a negative. You're already like tinkering down on the negative thought, and then someone puts another negative thought in your mind.
Hmm.
Now imagine you call me, hey man, I had a rough couple of days, and you say, oh, what happened? What happened? Yeah, I talked to 20 people and everybody said no. I said, dude, that's awesome. You talked to 20 people. If you would have talked to zero, guess how many people you would have got?
Zero.
Oh, well, zero. So you talk to 30 people. Go talk to another 30 people tomorrow and another 30 people the next day. Maybe
Mamba
talk to,
mentality.
you know what I mean? And like you keep going with it, man. And that, like negative thoughts snowball into something bigger. Positive thoughts do the same thing.
Same. Yeah.
And positive thoughts open up even more to every aspect, like enjoying the little things. Imagine like who was I watching? Sorry, I'm going crazy now.
Go
But like
on,
I was
man.
watching something where
You go on, man.
they're like, oh, okay. So I'll ask you the question that this guy did. If Mike, if I give you $1 million right now, would you be happy?
Yes.
Like honest, you'd be
Yes.
happy, right? Okay, now let's say it's $10 million, but you don't wake up tomorrow. Are you going to be happy?
It's
Do you
it's
want that? Do you
it's.
want the $10 million, but you
I've heard
can't
this
wake up?
question. I've heard this question too, but it's good. Yeah, but it's useless to me. No, I wouldn't be happy because I can't use it.
You would be. You'd be gone. You'd be gone. Yeah, okay, you'd give it to your family. Your family might be okay, but they're losing you, man. So like waking up the next morning is more than $10 million.
It's worth more value.
That's why that's why people are like, I gotta make money. I got to be in the mortgage industry. I got to make money. My commission, my commission. I got to, start helping people and making money. I need money. I need to make money. No, stop thinking about the money. Start thinking about it's a blessing to wake up in the morning. Me waking up is a blessing. Now, what am I going to do to help other people? It's like, like that. See, like even the juice is going now. Like you feel excited about it. So you're like, man, I just want to help other people. Like when people talk to me and they're like, oh, mortgages are bad, you're a scammer. It's like, no, man, I'm not a scammer. Mortgages open up so much opportunity for everyone. You don't have a mortgage and you feel bad about mortgages, you talk bad about mortgages. Well, do you have a rental property? No, you have no mortgage on your property and you don't have an extra property on the side making you cash flow. Well, if you get a mortgage and you get another property, you're making cash flow each month. When you pass away 100 years from now, you're giving something to your family that they didn't have. So, and then that will snowball, right? It's just one thing after another where, man, just embrace, like, you got to embrace the process.
And don't
be happy with getting 30 no's.
and don't
Because you
feel
talk to 30 people.
and don't feel bad for going off, because this is what always happens, even in the conversation. It just naturally happens this way. And then, I even talked about you. Because why? Because he gave me the same vibe that you, because you remind me of, you guys, different color, right? But it doesn't matter, right? No matter what color you are. No, 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 no. It's a serious, and for anyone listening to this, like, principles will never fail you no matter what color you are. Principles treat you the same way.
It's not about the look.
So
it's about what's out of the mouth and what's in the brain, what's in the heart. 100% agree.
That's why
I
liked how you went off, because, and in a good way, and he went off too. It's just like you guys were talking same thing and just want to do more. And like this, even though you're quote unquote failing, or even though you're not meeting your expectations, you're trying, you're attempting, you're doing something, you're making an effort, like you're moving towards the right direction. You got 20 no's. Hey, you wish you went to go knock on 20 doors. Good.
Yep.
Mama mentality, baby. Kobe, if he couldn't get 20, went to get, even though I'm not a Kobe fan, but I like the mama mentality.
That's a conversation another day, man. I think a whole episode has to go with you not liking Kobe Bryant. I don't know,
I'm
man.
not a Kobe fan. I mean, there's reasons. I mean, I'm not a Kobe supporter, but like, I mean, the mentality. I love his mentality. You can't. If it didn't score 20 points, I'm gonna score 30. If 30's not enough, I'm gonna score 40. You know what I'm saying? So.
And even the thought process of, man, like one of the reasons why he didn't like passing the ball as much to his teammates that didn't work hard. Just that process is crazy. You're like, why would I pass you the ball when I know you don't work as hard as me? I'd rather take the shots. Like, that thought process is, oh man, like, this is maybe not the best positive thing, but like, you want other people, like, I want, like, do you know when people are like, oh man, jealousy kills, and my best friend is doing this and doing that, and you're just like, I just want nothing but the best for everybody everybody in my circle. If you're part of my circle, if you're not succeeding, I feel not responsible, because it's not the right, but I feel like, man, what can I do to help this guy out?
Yes,
like I like, if you're part of like our group or my team, I want nothing but the best. I want nothing but like you to succeed, whatever it is. I want to be the best father I could be. Why would I want negative thoughts into someone's head? Even like, I even notice like sometimes when my days are a little bit on the downside and I talk to someone part of my team that's having a rough day as well, I don't go at that person from a negative side of it. I go after it because like even me talking about it gets me motivated to do more, as well as that person. Why would you not want that? Like, one thing out of this podcast we'd say, positive attitudes go a long way. Because I had a group, I was around a group of people that were very negative. And once I distanced myself from that, it changed so many things. It opened so many things up. Like, you're going to have days where you're a little bit down. You don't feel like doing work, or you don't feel like, doing the duties as males, as men, or as workers, or as family members. But imagine if you didn't wake up the next day.
Exactly.
How would you feel?
Exactly.
Well, one, you would feel because you'd be gone. But how would everyone else feel? It's your
Yes,
duty,
sir.
man. We don't know how long we're going to be here.
Yes, sir. And if any, yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
I love the stuff. When you called me this week, dude, I got so excited, man. I got so excited
Let's
just
go.
about like the process and everything that we were talking about, and like the basketball side of it and the life side of it. Man, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm like super excited about it.
Yeah, and if anyone listening, and if anything you can take away from this conversation, stay positive. Leave a comment. If you're struggling, leave a comment so we can give you some encouragement. Um, like, subscribe, and share it. And if it's blessed you, share it. Why not? Give someone an encouraging word, right? Like, your voice is so powerful, and if we can help people, even just kind of just say, what, like, just strive in the right direction. Well, that's a win. That's a win for me or for us.
Whatever you do, man, I want
Yeah,
to be the best father, whatever the case is. I want to be the best anything. It doesn't have to be about business. It doesn't have to be about your career. It could be about, hey, I want to be a better son to my mom.
yeah,
I want to be a better whatever. Yeah, man. That's what we're striving. That's what me and Mike are striving to. If we could help one person in this whole, we could do a million podcasts. If we help just one person, that's just such a positive for us, for sure.
yes, yeah. All right, Ben. With that being said, I think we're gonna sign off. Been over an hour now.
Man, it's been
But
a
it
quick
was it
hour.
was a very it was a very good little what do you want to say, what's the word called, not rant, tangent, I guess. But even though
Okay.
even though tangent, they say like I went off on a tangent in school. It's like no, you did not, because there's something that connects with what you're saying, and there's just, it's life is
Yeah.
everything connects in life, right? So so anything that you're speaking on, you're passionate about, and you start to connect to other things. Hey, that's great, and I'm glad that I heard it, because it's definitely blessed me, and I hope it blesses others. All right. That being said, this is Mike and Diego on Sports Business Life podcast. You have a wonderful day. Okay.
Take
Peace.
care.